So Carlo, I took a good look at the yacht. I was really impressed with the division of spaces. You dedicated a lot of space to the crew on board S1.
Yeah, we did. That's fundamental, in layouting a boat. The happiness of the crew is the key for the success of the project, because it's not a secret that in yachting, a happy crew, happy owner. If the crew is compressed, they live on board. They live on board actually all the time, much more than the guests. So they need to, in order to operate correctly, I wouldn't say relaxed, because being crew is not relaxing, but they need to be helped to do properly their job. So they need proper space. It's not wasted space, it's space for the yacht, for the success of the project.
The layouts on yachts have always fascinated me, because you've only got so much that you can play with. How do you decide upon the optimal layout? This particular layout of S1 is really unusual. What sort of led you to those design choices?
The first step, of course, is technical, because the boat a yacht is a ship. You have to cut out spaces in order to grant all the technicalities, engine room position, balance of the boat. And then with the rest of the space, you start to allocate following expectation of the owner, common sense, experience, in order to offer the best, life on board. Because when we lay out, we always think what will be the typical day of a guest, what they will do. This is the way to start layouting, actually.
Now, let's talk for a moment as well about the shipyard, about Mengi Yay, who've produced some beautiful yachts in the last few years. What's your experience been with them as a yard to work with?
Yeah, well, we were looking to cooperate with a shipyard with long experience, and possibly a family company, which we found. When a shipyard is operated on family base, there is certainly the financial part, but is also the long-term experience and the passion. Yachting needs passion, because yachts are not just an industrial piece of machinery. So you need to be a yachtman, and the family here, the owners are yachting people. So they know how to operate the yacht. This is very important. And I was impressed when we came here, basically by two things. The first was the ability in the construction of the steel. Many owners don't notice this, but we do. And they are very capable in building the steel parts. So all the metal job, which is the very first step of a build. And second, I was fascinated by the capacity of working the wood, the teak especially. One of the partners of the shipyard in his heritage, he was a carpenter family, and they know how to deal the teak. Teak is somehow an art, Teak itself is a wonderful material, but you can lay it down in an artistic way or in a poor way. Well, they are very good, and you see that they like to do it. And this, for a designer, is the best condition.
So for the benefit of the viewers, when steel is welded, because the structure is so big, sometimes you can get a little bit of a wave, and to straighten it out, you use filler. And if the filler is too thick, that can create cracks, it can fall away, it looks awful. What were your observations with the amount of filler used?
No, you should not use filler. The minimum, always you have to use filler a little bit before painting. But that's why I was impressed. When I saw them welding the structures, I noticed how they were welding smoothly. The welding technique they use allow them to properly build the boat without the primitive techniques like hammering, to get straight the plates. And this allow you to prepare the yacht for the painting with the minimum possible filler. So this means quality of the steel structure.
Yeah, and I really appreciate talking to you, because even though I've worked for a builder, with a builder, I always learn something from talking to people like yourself who are actually the designers and follow the construction through. But I think Nuvolari Lenard is best known for creating some of the most iconic yachts in the industry. I mean, for those that don't know, and I doubt if there's many, Alfa Nero, for example, which set a new benchmark. And I think this design as well has really got some features which are extraordinary, but particularly that transom design. What led you to doing something like that, bringing those two structures down and it's open from the side? What was the thinking behind that?
Well, let me tell you one thing. All our design comes from function. So we do not design things just for the sake of beauty. The beauty comes from function. Look to an airplane. An airplane is a beautiful object, but it's pure function. So we start thinking what the yacht should do. So the functionality of the yacht, and from there comes out the design. The shape of the stern fascion, let's call them fascion plates, if you want, of Serenissima, of S1, comes from the fact that we need support of the main deck, of the upper deck, because we have two strong cranes to lift a tender. And we didn't want to have pillars on aft deck. So we wanted to have a protected, big, but empty aft deck. And this drove us to design these supports. Now they came out, attractive to the eyes, but they are coming from function. And I think that everything is related to function at the end is nice. If you design something just for the sake of beauty, it may end up to be, futuristic or extravagant, and then it will age very quickly.
And those support pillars, apart from not always being very attractive, they take up deck space as well, don't they?
Yeah, sure. This is a key requirement from every owner. They don't want to see pillars. Unfortunately, we need to support the structure, so somewhere pillars should be, but we try to avoid them with these design tricks, or to cover them, dress them, incorporate them in the furniture in order that they are not seen.
That's great. Thank you so much, Carlo. I know you're super busy, so I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.